Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to LEGO Indiana Jones 2. The adventure continues. Let's continue Kingdom of the Crystal Skull Part 3. Start the story. Almost certainly this is the last part of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And I said it last recording and I will also say it here. Here, look, I could press A to skip the load screen. I don't believe there's any more of the movie right now. Between the fight that they had in the jungle surrounded by ants and the finding the Mayan temple, I think they just like follow the crazy guy who's talking to the skull and hears it speak to him. And see, he's as a character pretty poorly added to the story writing wise. If he had been found and just was your motivating factor to get to a certain spot, that would have been fine. But now he's become this magical compass that tells them exactly where to find the temple and finish the entire movie. If they had to do some more research or work on it a little bit, it would have given opportunities for more struggle. One way of writing movies and story is to have a problem solution style of writing. So you have the overall movie where where your Indiana Jones starts at his college and ends discovering something great and having a great adventure, and then you start adding the problems and solutions. So problem one: why does Indiana Jones is he going to leave his college and his normal life? I don't believe he actually does start in the college at the beginning of the Crystal Skull, but in general, wherever Indiana Jones starts, he starts. And so problem one: why is he going to be brought in on this adventure? So then you find out, you write a solution to that, and in that solution you should naturally connect to problem two. So he's on this adventure now. What does he need to do in the adventure? He needs to find the guy who originally found the Crystal Skull. So problem once you solve that, you find the guy with the Crystal Skull. How is the guy who found the Crystal Skull going to get us to the end? And instead of that being multiple problems, which it should have been like 3 or 4 problems and solution pairs, it's simply one thing. I need to start the level. It's simple. As soon as you find the guy, you also get the Crystal Skull. That should have been 20 minutes, and it really was only about 5 minutes in the movie. Because they steal the skull and find the guy at the same place. And then, once you have saved the guy... Interesting, animals. I don't think we saw any animals. Once you save the guy in the Crystal Skull, then you've got to... There should have been another 10 to 20 minute conversation about how does the Crystal Skull work. And since they're just making up mythos, you can even see in an example of a previous Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, they find the pendant. And then they have to translate the pendant to know how tall the staff is, and they have to translate it, the back and the front of it, to get the right height of the staff. Then they put the pendant on the staff, and then they have to find the map room. And when they get to the map room, they have to place the map room in a specific hole, which Indiana Jones spends like a minute explaining how he knew which of the many holes there were the right one. In the holes on the floor the staff was supposed to go into, and then that points to the location of where the Ark of the Covenant is buried. And then in that process they they potentially are given the problem of getting buried alive in the map room, I believe. And so they have to escape from there. There's a lot of lack of conflict in this movie also. There's a little bit of chase, certainly. Well, there's a ton of chase in the Crystal Skull. But new forms of conflict that are anything other than just get away with your life. Or just let me show this action scene that I want to see. The sad truth is, Steven Spielberg's just not a good writer. And he hasn't gotten better. If anything, he's gotten worse. This whole area is now full of spiders. Like he just wants to... he just wants to show action scenes. And that is fine, but it really would have behooved the viewing audience quite well if Steven Spielberg had been paired with somebody who was more thought-provoking and storyline focused to co-write or rewrite the movies, instead of what happened where Steven Spielberg got in early on the movie industry. Oops, apparently you die if you go down those holes or anywhere near them. He got in early, he made a lot of money for the movie industry, and now he's pretty much an untouchable. Is this quicksand? Yes, it is. That's a little visually nondescript. This quicksand mud stuff. Like similar things. You have Michael Bay's Transformers. Bad movies with possibly good action scenes. If they got someone else in there to work with him and just partner up and say, here, we've got a story. Well, I'm throwing the banana at a monkey, but he's not holding anything, so I guess I'm gonna throw him a banana later when he has something worth collecting. Because there's a key up there. I see that, so we gotta grab our bazooka and blow it up. Ah, now he has a key. Again, not super obvious. So a lot of this level is centering around the idea of the Crystal Skull keeping the spiders at bay. The monkey's gonna give me the key. What's weird is these golden handles. I'm not sure if that's really something that they make as far as Lego pieces. We've seen this key in practically every Lego game ever, but now that I think about it, I'm not sure that's actually an actual Lego piece. It would be rather small as far as a thing to turn, and the holes on the edge there would be too small to fit anything except for perhaps the head of the new baby minifig, which why you would snap a key to the head of a baby minifig doesn't make any sense. And usually when you have something that is going to spin, there's slightly bigger pieces you would want to use so you can get your fingers around it. At minifig scale, it looks like a key that only minifigs could actually use, not the actual kid playing with the toy. And I have seen Lego keys, absolutely, and they make those, and they make them out of a single piece of Lego molded plastic, and they usually go through just keyholes in doors that don't really have any locking mechanism or anything like that. It's so strange. I'm pushing B here, assuming that would just shoot the whip out, but it doesn't. I have to actually target. I needed Mutt, and he decided to fall to his death. And you can see on the animation there, he's not even touching anything with the wrench. Let's go ahead with this character. So, I'm almost a true adventurer. Yeah. Yeah. But it would have been really nice in a different world, although I doubt Steven Spielberg's going to make too many more movies. Maybe at most he'll make 4, maybe 5 for the rest of his career at the rate he's going. But it would have been very nice in a different universe if he had been paired with a writer and actually could write the stories well, or have somebody write the stories well for him. He's trying to give the ice cream to the crystal skull. See, I just realized there's no end screens on this either. It's no longer a case of it telling you all the collectibles that you can collect, because there are no collectibles in the levels. So they just immediately, as you come back to the main hub world, hand you all the studs you earned in that level. So if I keep punching these guys, I can purchase this guy. So do I have to purchase this guy multiple times, or is he slightly different? Like, if I purchase the soldier in part 3, do I then have to purchase the soldier in part 2 and part 1 also? Or will I just find that they're unlocked in the other parts? And see, there is nothing here. I've got to get this car. It seems very, very strange that your only choice here in this Jeep boat, this is one of these water breaching military vehicles that are designed to go into the water. Seems like you're gonna have to buy that for 5,000. It's a car boat is what they're calling it. And then we'll have to use it to go to the next level. Until we can see anything else. Right now we've found no collectibles whatsoever, and that's kind of unsurprising. And we didn't make True Adventure, and that's a little surprising too. And we're at 704,000 studs, which is also a little surprising that we have so many studs, considering how little gameplay there actually is in all the levels we've done. I mean, we've done about 11 levels and we have 700,000 studs. That means we're getting roughly 70,000 studs each level that takes less than 10 minutes usually. Compared to a lot of the previous games, Lego Indiana Jones in particular, we should be somewhere around 100,000 studs. But I'm not really complaining about that. I like the idea of the numbers going up and up. It's kind of silly the numbers are so small to begin with that they're even doing increments of 10. This is really more, or at least in my opinion, it should be more like the pinball mentality, where there's never anything less than 100 points or even 1,000 points, where it just goes up and up and up. But then that's a double-edged sword, because if I find out a car is worth 5 million studs, that might be soul-crushing until I realize the game gives you 1,000,000 studs each level. But anyways, that's just kind of a balancing issue, and they decided to keep the scale down pretty small, even though we're getting a lot. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. I hope that helps out. If you want to support me further, please friend and follow me on all the social media links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.